Okay, tell me what you think about this. Every athlete who is serious about their sport has a coach. True or false? Just think about it. Every single athlete who's serious about what they're doing has a coach. And don't you think it's interesting that those who want to win have coaches? But in business, for some reason, very often, we don't care to win. It's like we don't value the importance and necessity of coaching in business like we do in sports and in competition. But isn't business competition just the same? So we want to talk about the importance of having a coach in business. Right now, I would say I'm paying for 2 coaches, but I probably have about 4 or 5 coaches that I go to on a regular basis. For me, coaching has been absolutely instrumental. It's completely changed my business 100%. Whenever we started Chamberlain, our brokerage, we hired a coach just right out the gate, talked to that coach every 2 weeks, consistently, week after week after week after week after week. And I would say coaching was one of the number one things that really helped the brokerage get to where we are today. So what I found interesting though is that the coaching usually wasn't life-changing. It wasn't major things every single 2 weeks, but essentially it was every 2 weeks, it was a moment to hit a pause and look at the business and open up everything and say, hey, where are we going wrong? What needs to be fixed? What challenges do we have? And then just make little tiny tweaks, little course corrections. You guys know that analogy that if you're going this way and then you get off just by 1 degree over a few miles, it'll take you somewhere completely different from where you want to be. And that's, for me personally, that's what coaching has been like. We know where we're going, we're moving this direction. Coaching is a moment to stop and to say, are we still hitting the goal? Are we still on course 100%? What do we need to tweak along the way, these little changes that ultimately help you get to where you want to end up in the long run? So I highly recommend coaching. I love coaching for business. I think it's a phenomenal thing. I recently just quadrupled my spend on coaching because I think it's so valuable personally. So whenever you're looking for a real estate coach, to me, this is super, super important. I really like to learn from people who have been where I want to be or are currently who I want to become. So you got to watch out because there's a lot of coaching programs where somebody came up with a great idea and we'll make this program and blah, blah, blah and go through this, but they haven't actually done the work. They haven't actually put in the effort to figure out if that program worked. They never truly succeeded in that area. And it's a completely different, like, night and day difference between somebody who has been where you currently are today and they can hold your hand and say, I remember when I was right there. Let me tell you a couple little things that changed everything for me. And then they grab your hand and they walk you forward to avoid the pitfalls that they made. Your coach needs to be somebody who's been there before, who has seen it before, and has gotten out of it and has become who you ultimately want to be. So that's my top suggestion as you're looking for a coach. Make sure that they've been there. Now, a coach doesn't have to be an official program. It doesn't have to be, so-and-so's coaching program. It could just be a friend who's been there, who's willing to mentor you. Like, coaching and mentoring are extremely close to the same thing from my perspective in business. So find mentors, find people that you really respect and believe in and can help you get there. But there is a difference. Okay, so if you go find a mentor, some person, some agent that you feel like is amazing at what they do, you go find a mentor, they're not gonna have a really, I don't wanna say strict, but they're not gonna have a plan to get you from point A to point B because I've done this with 10 other people this way, you know? So mentors are helpful, but there is a difference. Like, whenever you step into a coaching program and it's somebody who's been where you are and they're who you want to be and they do it very consistently in a systematic basis, that can really change the ball game. So I remember whenever I first started paying for coaching, it was $1,000 a month. And my mother-in-law wanted to help me get into coaching. And so my Christmas gift that year was to hire a coach. And she was like, well, hey, how much? I'm going to give you $500. That should get you going for like 6 months or so. And I looked into it and came to find out it's $1,000 a month for 2 hours of talking. $500 a call. It was crazy. And it's only become more expensive, a lot more expensive since then. But I still feel like it's totally worth it. One of my coaches right now, I don't know if I should say this, I'm paying $600 every 30 minutes to have a phone call with this guy because I value it, because it makes a huge difference in my own business and in the trajectory of my life. Okay, so paid coaching can be extremely helpful. Don't get into a coaching program where you get suckered. Don't get into a coaching program where it's just like, hey, how many calls did you make this week? How many people did you talk to? Okay, good job, goodbye, see you next. And they have like thousands of people that they're calling all the time asking the same question. Don't do that. Find somebody who has been in your shoes and can get you to the next place where you ultimately want to be. Don't be afraid to spend money. Be smart. Don't get yourself in trouble. But don't be afraid to risk investing in yourself, okay? That's huge. Like, do not be afraid to risk investing in yourself. You'll invest in stocks, you'll invest in a house, you'll invest in all these different things. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. There's no better investment. If you are good soil inside of your heart and your mind, and you're gonna take the things that you learn and apply it, there's no better place to invest your money in the long run for your life than investing in yourself. So don't be afraid to jump into it. There's quite a few good coaching programs out there. One that's helped me personally is called Club Wealth. I'm a big fan because the person that coaches you has to be a producer in real estate. They are who you want to be. They're always in a tier above you. I think it's brilliant. It's just a great system. It's a great culture. I like it a lot. Another one that I'm currently enjoying is John Cheplak. He's a recruiting coach primarily, really sharp guy. There's other ones, some of the big names like Buffini or Tom Ferry, some of those. My understanding, I've never done those, it's more of like a call center, hey, how many calls you make, do this, do that. But even still, you can't go wrong if you're investing in yourself. Conferences are a huge place to get a big burst of training. And you know, get away for a weekend and just download tons of information and then come back. Amazing way to get coaching. So there's a ton of them out there. I know that there's lots and lots of great coaches in real estate specifically. There's lots of great mentors. I don't really care where you get it from. Just be willing to take the risk and invest in yourself. Okay? I hope that helps, and you guys have a great day. Bye.